Hey, Bayek, it's me, Ian, and I'm going to do a series of videos reviewing 6 films. Yes, and this is going to be the first of those films. It's from the 6 Gothic Tales box set from Arrow Video, Roger Corman films, and all are Vincent Price, starring Vincent Price. So the first one is The Fall of the House of Usher from 1960. And it's 79 minutes long. It's not very long. Rotten Tomatoes give it 84%. It's got a lot of love, this film. It's an important film in terms of Roger Corman and his career, how he went to the film producers and said, look, I want to do one film instead of doing these 2 films, do it in colour, because he was doing like double bills in black and white. He wanted to elevate his filmmaking, if you look at it like that. And he said, Edgar Allan Poe. Yes, Edgar Allan Poe. And they agreed to it. So they had one film in Technicolor. And this is the story of what happened. And this is what he produced. It's based on Edgar Allan Poe story, The Fall of the House of Usher, which was in a collection of short stories from 1840. The screenplay was by Richard Matheson. Of course, he's well known for doing I Am Legend, 1954, his novel, which has been, as you know, filmed. I think there's about 3 or 4 films from that novel. Yes. It was produced by Roger Corman, and he was able to get American International Pictures to distribute it. It was through Acta Vista producers. So we've got that. Yes, he's a producer as well as the director. Yes, and what a legendary director he is. He's got so many films. In fact, he directed 55 films, produced 385 films from 1954 to 2008. His catalogue is marvellous. Now, he agreed to do 8 films, and we've got 6 on this box set, of Edgar Allan Poe stories. That's what he did, yes. So, let's have a look at the cast. The cast is just Vincent Price. Yes, it's him. He dominates it. He adds that class, something special. He plays Roderick Usher. Then you've got 3 other members of the cast. It's a very small cast. You've got Mark Damon, I think, playing Philip Winthrop. I suppose he's like the romantic lead, if you want to put it like that. Most famous film I can find him in, of interest, is 1963's Black Sabbath, which had Boris Karloff in. But he became known as a producer. He's produced lots and lots of films, a lot of TV things, because he came from TV as well. Then the leading actress is Myrna Fey. She plays Madeline Usher. Really, if you look at her, it's all TV stuff. And this was actually her last film role before she went into all total TV work. And then we've got Ari Elborough, I think Elborough, playing Bristol. He's like the butler kind of figure, manservant, whatever you want, a dog's body, wandering around the house. He's just really plays these roles. Again, a massive TV background. So again, these other actors haven't maybe quite got the quality. Like, if we look at Hammer films, like we do, the cast is always full of great character British actors of the cinema often. And we don't have that here. It's Vincent Price who makes the film. He is the person that elevates this film because his performance, his appearance. It's Vincent Price. He's fantastic. He's almost made for these roles, but his voice and everything, he just adds to it. So what is the story about? It's about Roderick Usher, the Vincent Price, who believes his family to be cursed by an incurable madness. And his sister, Madeline, announces that she's going to get engaged. And will get engaged, she says, to Philip Winthrop. And he says, no, you can't do that. And he wants to stop doing that. He doesn't want her to leave the house. He doesn't want to leave, to be involved in this relationship. He believes he has to prevent it, because if he doesn't, the Usher bloodline will continue and the madness will continue. And he wants to stop. He wants to be, this is the end of the Usher madness. These brother and sister are the end of the line. And that's how he sees it. And that's the premise of the film. And we get the inevitable conclusion on the way. In many ways, it was asked, the producers, where's the monster in this film? Well, Roger Corman said, well, the monster is actually the house. Yes, and the house is falling apart, it's disintegrating, but you could also see that in a psychological terms as well. It's the brain disintegrating, the evil, the madness taking over the brain, and it descends to its inevitable conclusion. In the house is very much part of the film, and that's how it works so well as that environment. But all the interiors, there's so many great interiors, as well as the visual matte shots which are painted, and then there's the whole design of the interiors. The colour is so important in this film. It's really important. Again, Hammer were producing these wonderful Gothic stories in wonderful Technicolor, and I thought, yes, we'll do that. Yes, America was looking at Hammer and saying, we've got to do that now. The British was leading the way, yes. Well, I thought I'd just put that in, like we do. So this wonderful Gothic horror tale, you wonder, I think some people would nowadays look at a film like this and think it's a bit slow, a bit boring even in places. They wouldn't understand, I don't think, because the attention is not always there, of how good the storytelling is. A lot of the psychology, it's about feelings and emotions, the disintegration of mind. Yet the mind is very much part of this film. There's even the dream sequences, which becomes a Roger Corman thing, is important. Wonderful direction, photography, all this really elevates the film with Vincent Price. put all these ingredients together and you've got yourself perhaps the best adaptations of Edgar Allan Poe films that we've seen. Yes, because I don't think they could emulate this again in these series of films. There are exceptions, maybe, but generally speaking, this is an absolute wonderful collection of films that they do, and they're bringing they're elevating literature as well. They're bringing literature to the screen, but in the Gothic horror tradition, and it works so well. Everything just comes together on a relatively low budget, and it made a lot of money. The public loved it. Who would believe that Gothic horror, we're in the 60s, entering the 60s, would be so popular going back as it does in history? It's fantastic to think that this form of filmmaking was going on. And in 1960 as well, this, yes, I'm always pointing about 1960. You must be wondering why. You know, don't you? So that is it, really. I totally recommend this film. I think I'm going to say this about the whole box set. This is the box set with the 6 films in from Arrow Video. Great box set. And also, as usual with Arrow, the extras are fantastic. Wonderful extras. I love watching the extras. And everybody, there's some familiar faces here that you think, oh yes, definitely. I love it. Absolutely love it. And I've got 5 more to watch, and we'll do one every week now. Yes. So this is my first review of The Fall of the House of Usher from 1960. I hope you've enjoyed that. You might even think, oh yeah, I'll get that. Because I got that on the sale. You know, these films are great. They're treasures. Different kind of filmmaking. Wonderful historical records of how films developed. And here they're at the wonderful height of filmmaking here on these kind of budgets and what they do. Fantastic. That's it. Yes. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Or if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We'll let you know when I produce these videos. And if you like it, please give it a like. It all goes in algorithms, and hopefully other people might, try these videos and we're seeing them. And it costs note. So you can't say fairer than that. And if you got any comments, well, please put your comments down. Love to read your comments. And that's it, really. So all I've got to say is, I'll see thee again.